Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the moment. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. On this screen, weighing 166 pounds with a record of 32 backhand slices, it's Nick Ortega. And on the other screen, don't know Brian's weight, with a record of 300 assistant editor credits and 2 beautiful cats. Ryan Parker.
Holy shit, I have never had as good a lead-in or any introduction could ever match that. I've never had one that good. That was incredible. Thank you for that.
Welcome.
Welcome everybody
34.
to episode 34.
Yes,
33.
34. But God damn it,
34.
It's 30. I'm pretty, dude.
How can we not ever get this
I
right?
was
We literally did this
confident
last
going
week.
in, so confident going in that it was 34.
I hate us so much.
Fuck, dude, it might be 33.
We're gonna look it up real quick. We're gonna check the tape.
Checking it. 1 minute.
You know, this is what separates the men from the boys. You know how quickly we can
Serenade podcast.
Do something under pressure.
It's 33.
Is it 33?
I was so confident going in that it was 34, but it's 33.
Well, everybody, we now know, and upon further review, the episode is number 33.
33, baby.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
We're chilling. We're both wearing things on our foreheads to mask how large they are and male pattern baldness.
Oh god, dude!
And
I hate my male pattern
we
baldness.
have plenty of shit to talk about.
So many shits, every shit. Yeah, we're unfortunate. We're doing an in-person episode next week. Don't worry. This one we're just a little bit of bad planning on my behalf. We're under a time crunch, so we're doing one of these.
Still trying to be COVID safe as much as we can.
Still trying to be COVID safe. It'll officially be 2 weeks since I've been back on Monday anyway, or tomorrow or on Tuesday anyway. So,
checking boxes, just making sure.
Dotting T's, crossing I's, all of that shit.
Could you imagine if T's were signified by a hollow space of a dot? So if you write with a pencil, you have to erase out this the section where it would cross over.
Oh god.
That's the dot that you signify it with is a white dot.
Holy shit, that would take so much work. I would never
that
write
would be
T.
just not.
Where you just poke a hole through the paper.
Yeah, exactly. Just the most inefficient language ever.
Yeah.
It's you add stuff and then take it away.
Take it away just a little bit at a time. Dude, this application process for this apartment has been so annoying. So annoying. I feel like I'm close.
Now is it worse than this apartment that you moved into?
It's not, but dude, I thought that this apartment was an anomaly. It turns out that they're just rigorous everywhere I'm trying to apply. Or maybe I just
so strange.
Untrustworthy looking.
Dude, maybe because I have literally had the easiest times applying for both of my apartments in LA.
God damn.
The first one was literally we submitted the application, met the landlord because it was a third party agent selling it to us, I guess. Mm-hmm. Met the guy and he was all right, cool. Shook our hands, signed the lease, and that was it. This one was hey, we need this record, sign this, we're good to go. And we heard back in 3 days after we submitted it too. It's so weird. Your whole thing is just so strange.
I don't know what it is. I guess people just don't trust me. They look at me and they're like, nah, something's up. Something's going on. Whatever it is. I think they're still, they're gonna let me in. It's just I've provided tax documents. I've provided 12 months of bank statements. 12. Literally an entire year where they can see my entire bank account. What goes in, what comes out, every transaction I've ever made. So weird that they'd need to see that, but whatever, for a whole year. And they're like, all right, we're still checking.
Jesus.
I'm they're like, just because you're self-employed, I was like, what does that mean? What does that matter though? For an employed person, you'd ask for a pay stub and taxes, right? So I don't have pay stubs, so I'm giving you my entire bank account for a year. You can,
Yeah, that's wild. I've literally only ever given my last 2 pay stubs, which only covers a month of just one form of income.
I know.
That's so weird.
It's so random. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I get it, I guess. You can't really ever be too careful because it's much harder to evict someone after they've been let in. But, I'm like, come on. What else do I have to do? Fucking jump through hoops. I'll do a backflip for you.
Do I have to sell you one of my kidneys?
Yeah. Do you want to?
Do we have to do some weird quid pro quo I'm gonna try that again. Quid pro quo. There we go.
Quid
kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you want from me?
Whose dick do I have to suck to get an apartment in this
Come
town?
on, I'll suck any dicks, any number of dicks. 2, 3, big, small.
I do have a few standards though. Here's my list.
Dude,
it's like things that are like not good.
Speaking of dicks, I truly can't get over the Cyberpunk character creation screen. Like, you literally
penis 1, penis 2, and vagina.
Penis 1, penis 2, vagina, or no genitals, and then you pick small, regular, or large, or big, or whatever. Yep. It's so funny, and the way
dude, the base penis 2, that's the sweet spot. That's where you're just like, yeah, it's good.
Like, that's normal. That's a normal peen.
Yeah. I can't be mad about that.
Someone was tweeting.
That's a quality penis.
I don't know if it's true or not, but someone was like, if you choose an uncircumcised penis in Cyberpunk, it locks you out of certain sex options, which is interesting.
I don't know if that deserved 3 delays and 80 hours a week for the people.
I know,
but
right? Like, that's what they were working
that's
on.
What we get.
And we still have like boobs clipping out of shirts. It's so funny, dude.
Here's the weird thing too about it. Like, okay, to preface this to anybody who might shit on us for being positive about this game, I have literally been waiting for this since 2013 at that E3 when they did the teaser trailer, when it ended with coming when it's ready.
Yeah.
That was what I started with. So like, I went into this kind of jaded because I was like, literally anything that they give me will be perfect. That's just what I need. And so like, I probably about like maybe 2 hours into like actual playtime. I think I've got like 4 hours in it of me just like fucking running around the city.
Yeah,
just
that's all I've
looking
been
at
doing.
shit. And I haven't encountered very many errors or like glitches like people are having. Ooh,
yeah, me
excuse
neither.
me. This coffee is just fucking me up. I haven't had that like many issues with it. Like, I think my favorite one that I've seen so far on Twitter is like these little trees popping up all over the place for this guy.
What?
So weird.
Interesting.
It's probably something about like the world generator.
Probably.
So like the trees like pop in at like certain draw distances, right?
Yeah.
So if somewhere in that draw distance gets corrupted, like they just spawn in like different locations.
That's interesting.
So like it's weird seeing those because I'm just like, yeah, like that's bad. Like nothing should ship like that.
Right.
But like I haven't had any of those issues, so I'm just like, this is fucking great.
It's pretty great.
Running around, it looks great.
It looks
like,
amazing.
I'm playing it on like probably like at this point like 2 or 3 year old hardware on like a PC, and I'm playing everything at ultra at 144 frames a second. So like, granted I'm at like 1080p, whereas some people are playing at like 1440p or even like 4K.
Yeah.
But like, I haven't had any issues. Plays really fun. Like it's everything that I was hoping for.
Dude, it's so dope. People are shitting on it, and I feel bad because I'm like, this is like a lot of fun. It's always fun to commiserate with people and be like, oh yeah, totally, it sucks. But like, dude, I think it's super fun.
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing. It's like the discrediting like those glitches and errors that people are having is like that's not going to be conducive. That's not like going to help it.
Yeah.
And like those things shouldn't be happening. And so like you look at it and you're just like, okay, like that sucks. That's terrible. Like that's not a good thing. But it's like, what is the like user to error ratio?
Right.
You know, because if that happened to one guy out of like literally everybody,
right?
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but like that's probably not something that they could have like really accounted for. And then like, it's like a 1 in a million kind of bug. Cool that like they found it and now can point it out, and then they can go back and fix it, send out a patch, etc. But it's like, okay, what, like I understand like the outrage, and I understand like being mad about a lot of it and stuff like that, or upset in some ways, but at the same time, it's just like this thing was already more than it could chew.
Oh my god,
like,
it's such a massive undertaking. Like actually, now that I've jumped into it, dude, oh my god.
Like just like I was like walking down a street the other day, and I was like, they had vendors and like all these other people and like advertisements and stuff, and I was like, just to like design this road for like like an art piece, if someone was like painting it or something like that, I was like, that would take weeks. Yeah. And I was like, and this has to be something that's living, that you like go into like in a game, and it has to flow into another part of a city. You know, like that's insane. Like they basically did city planning. Yeah. Like they should have like government salaries.
Literally, I know. And like it's fucking, you can interact with everybody. Like you have dialogue options for like, it's, you know, not just like main character shit when you're like talking to like someone, but you can talk to like hobos on the corner, and like you have like options to say to them. It's nuts. Have you seen
the picture of the dude with the script for Cyberpunk 2077?
No. Is it?
It's like him sitting on like a bench on like a table in front of him, and the table is probably like 2.5 feet like high of each thing, and it's probably like a 7.5 foot table, and like the whole thing is covered that high, and then it goes down to the floor, and there's probably like 15 like stacks of papers that are like 4 or 5 feet high.
Oh, I gotta look this up.
It's dude, it's insane. Like just the dialogue options alone for this game was like such a huge undertaking.
Oh yeah, and
another
voice
thing too,
acting, everything, dude's nuts.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, another thing is like the voice acting's kind of incredible.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's the script, my guy. That is the script for the game. That's just like dialogue options and like a quick like lead into what it is.
That's absurd. Wow.
For a video game,
For a video game.
And like it's one thing to be like, okay, like it didn't need to be this big. Like I probably could have gotten half of the size of this game and still been like satisfied and had like everything that I wanted.
Yeah.
So like I'm at the point where it's just like I haven't explored enough or like encountered any issues yet to like really determine how this is like working and looking. But like I kind of don't think I'm going to, but it's also like, hey man, you guys could have like scaled this down a little bit.
Yeah.
And like
There's
saved
no
yourself
way
all
I'm
those
gonna be able to
hours.
explore it. Like, I mean, people are
Exactly.
doing long plays on YouTube, and there's like they're at like part 9, part 10, part 11, and these videos are 3 hours long each. I mean, there's like 30 hours of gameplay. Like, and they're barely scratching the surface.
Right. And I mean, look at like The Witcher 3. The game came out in like 2015? No, like 2014 or 2015, somewhere around there. And that game alone, to beat the story of the game, like if you did nothing but the story, I believe takes like 300 hours.
Oh my god, that's
and
crazy.
So like if you play through, oh no, it's like if you uncover everything in the game, it's like 300 or 350 hours. For you to play through just the story, it's like 60 or 70 hours. Which is like
a lot.
The lead in, the over exaggeration of the 300, me fucking that up kind of downplays this fact now, but like imagine like watching a movie for 60 hours.
Right. That's like literally what it is.
Yeah, that's what that is. And so like you think about that now, and it's like they did that 5 years ago. Look where we are now.
Yeah.
Like this is insane. But at the same time too, doesn't excuse like bad business practices. Don't kill your people.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the other thing, is like that happens in like kind of any creative endeavor, and like you can only back it and kind of like be okay with it to an extent before it's just like, okay, you guys are, this is weird.
Yeah.
We're approaching a worker violation territory.
Totally. The funny thing is, it's still half the size of fucking Warzone. It's like a 50 or 60 gigabyte download, and Warzone is literally 110, and it's one fucking game mode. Like, Jesus Christ.
And it's interesting too, because like I've got a couple of friends who are like game developers and stuff like that. So like talking with them just like about these things is interesting to me, because games are something that's always been like very like near and dear to my heart. So like they were telling me that like, yeah, like Call of Duty, like it being that big means it's not optimized.
Oh, totally not
means
optimized.
They basically just like baked in a whole bunch of textures and like texture files that could have been quarters of the size and still get the same resolution. And just because it's that big does not equate to quality at all.
No, of course not.
Like,
no, that's now that I've seen Cyberpunk and seen all this shit, and half the size, probably file size, probably like 6 or 7 or 8 times the magnitude, and it's crazy.
And also think about something too, is think about like the verticality of Cyberpunk. So you can go into floors, like whole floors of buildings. Now imagine if you took all of that square footage out and laid it into one map.
Massive.
Like, think about how big that would be.
Big.
Insane. Like such a humongous undertaking. I do think it probably could have benefited from another year delay. Like they probably could have released this time next year.
Yeah, I think so.
But at the same time too, it's one of those things where it's just like, would you really want to like kind of be put through that for a whole other year?
No way.
So like I'm kind of glad they kind of are done.
Because now it's out, they can just push updates. Now it's all about updates and bug patches and whatever. So
hopefully they don't get destroyed through the holidays. Hopefully they can just
hopefully they can chill. They need to chill for a good like 2 months, and then
Did you see? So something that's interesting too is that how games do their bonuses are like you don't necessarily, as like a developer or like people that aren't like directors or the studio themselves, you don't necessarily get residuals from like the game sales. But you get like a huge bonus once the game launches, and obviously different companies have different like metrics for what constitutes certain bonus level and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So like CD Projekt Red, apparently their like internal thing is that if the game hits like a 90 on a Metacritic score, then it's like you get the full bonus.
Yeah.
And it's like an insane amount of money. And insane is relative, obviously, as well.
Right.
But like there was like an internal email that went out that was just like, hey, like due to everything, like we're just gonna give you the full bonus.
Wow.
Like we know that this is like our normal metric that like we set for ourselves, but like you guys, like you just here. And I was
That's
like,
awesome.
don't know if this is like a weird underhanded tactic or if it's just them being cool, but like that's kind of nice. Like that's
So like all the
something.
like devs and all the like artists and all the people who worked on it are getting that bonus, or who's getting that bonus?
Mm-hmm. Everybody gets their full bonus for like their position.
Oh, sweet. Wow. That's great.
So it was like, that's kind of tight.
Especially
but
near the
that's
holidays and shit. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Poland's dealing with a bunch of other like political shit too. So it's like, that'd be just the amount of stress those guys are under. I cannot even imagine. And plus with like all of like this pretty unnecessary hate.
Yeah, a little bit. People just like to complain, man. People love to complain about shit. You know, it's hard for them to, you know, see something and I don't know. There's always something. Yeah, there's always something.
Exactly. Like I'm like I said, like I would have been happy if they gave me like a quarter of this game.
Yeah.
I would have been like, this is everything I wanted.
Yeah.
Like the sheer fact that I got this is incredible
Yeah.
to me. Like I'm just happy to have it. Like bugs and all and like issues. Like I'm just happy to be able to play this game and like finally like have like the thoughts in my head realized on like the screen.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, this is what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah,
this is
it's
sick.
super cool, man.
So.
It's such a good game. I'm a huge fan.
Big
I'm
fan.
trying to get more into it.
I want to stream it really bad, but I genuinely don't know if my computer can handle that.
Yeah, it's a lot. So this is what else. Speaking of streaming and like streaming Cyberpunk, I don't know how, since obviously like there's a lot of like nudity in the game and like the character customization is like, you know, you're a fully nude person and you can choose your fucking dick size. Like how is that not against TOS? Because people on Twitch have been flagged for literally just like accidentally clicking a link that's like, you know, an Amazon link even that's like a waifu pillow or some shit. How are they getting around that?
I don't know, and that's really interesting because I wonder if they've built something into it and like also built it into like their algorithm where like it does, like if it's in a game it's fine, but if it's like actual depictions or like artwork outside of a game,
right,
then it's not. So like I wonder if that's how they make their if that's how they make their separation, if that's how they make their distinction of that.
Right.
But it's just like it's weird. Like I wonder how,
because like
that's
obviously
going.
So the game was like made, there's options in the game that were made like with streamers in mind. You can disable copywritten music, right? So like that's the other thing, you know. So like clearly they knew, but like then there's like full on, you know, sex scenes, full on nudity, full on like genital customization. So like, which is clearly against TOS. But yeah, you're right. I mean, maybe there's a loophole. Maybe if it's in a game, maybe it's like, I don't know. But I was wondering about that, so I have no idea.
Yeah, it's very strange, and I think like that's kind of something to keep in mind as like this landscape changes, because like, you know, think about it. Like you weren't even able to show like a bedroom with one bed in it until like the 1980s on TV, or something, right? Like you couldn't even insinuate that a husband and wife slept in the same bed.
Right.
And like now we're at a point where it's just like, this is a human being that doesn't exist, that you customized every part of their like naked body.
Yeah.
Here it is
Shape
on the
of your
internet
pubic
for all to
hair.
see.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like, how does that evolve with the time? Like how does the media evolve with it and like become to accept these other things? Because America has never been a country that has widely accepted kind of sexuality in general. Like if you go to the UK, like you could open up the daily newspaper and in the middle, like in the centerfold, there could be like a naked girl just on an advertisement. Like that's okay. But like violence isn't okay over there. So that's like the weird juxtaposition. It's like, okay, we're fine with showing some dude getting chainsawed in half, and that's okay. That can be on like any television network. But we cannot show boobs.
Nip slip
at all.
Absolutely
you
not.
do that, that's a no.
Yeah, get out of here. FCC will be up your ass.
Yeah. And so like you think about it as like Twitch is kind of like changing. Twitch and YouTube both are kind of like changing our media landscape in general. Like we're getting things that are more short form because people want that. Like 10-20 minute videos are doing, I don't want to say better, because obviously, you know, millions of dollars versus thousands of dollars, the ratio is different, but like some of those are outperforming like full like theatrical release movies,
absolutely,
you know?
absolutely.
So it's like people like the media is kind of shifting that way. We want like more short form content, like, and streaming has kind of become a thing where it's like people just kind of want a stream of consciousness almost, you know? So there's like a weird trade-off, but these two are kind of like dominating like the future of like media, I think.
Yeah.
Like you factor in like TikTok and like Instagram videos and stuff like that. It gets very different. So like media, like government regulations and stuff have never been able to catch up to media. And now media is like already changing its entire landscape going forward. So how does that affect everything, you know?
Right.
And I think this might be kind of the start of where like a precedent starts getting set, because it's just weird. It's just weird.
It is. Yeah, it's super odd. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't think
it's gonna be interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah. And
I want to see like I can't wait to see like hard data on this stuff in like 10, 20 years, just because we haven't had long enough to like build up these databases and like, run these calculations and stuff. I want to see like what that progression looks like later. I think it'd be cool.
Super interesting to see all these metrics, and you know, especially side by side with traditional media forms would be sick. Yeah, very excited about that. Dude, fuck, I'm just so stoked. I'm so stoked on it. I'm so stoked.
Yeah, dude. It's like it's cool. Like there's a lot of stuff happening. Like games are kind of getting better and more like not necessarily commercialized, but like they're broader in scope, you know? Like we're being able to play like full movies, and like we're being able to watch other people play them in real time, like across the internet.
Yeah.
Like the changes of media are like terrifying, but they're also really exciting.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if we can change this entire industry in like 30, 40 years, and as technology gets better, like how much is it going to change? Like where are we going to get to at some point? Like it's just fascinating.
Yeah.
Like it's cool.
It really is. Super.
And you look at like podcasts, you know?
Yeah.
Like this shit has kind of like taken over like where radio is missed, you know? We had talk shows on television, we had talk shows on the radio for a while, we had Sirius, we had, you know, people now Bluetoothing like Spotify and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But people have kind of come back to this kind of old thought process, you know? People have kind of come back to radio shows, if you will.
Yeah.
But like it's interesting. Like that's like, so there's like some repeating patterns, there's things that are literally obsolete that we never do anymore, there's things that
completely new
imply like insane changes down the road. It's just cool, man.
It is.
It's just
cool. I don't know. It's super cool. It's super cool. I'm sure all these like new media classes in college, the landscape's gonna have to like change and shit like that too, you know, over the next, you know, 5-10 years. Super cool.
Yeah. I had a professor who kind of like became like a very close like friend, basically. Like he produced all of like the shorts that we made in college and everything. And in his class was like a television studio broadcast class. And in that class, he was just like, hey, so this is the book that you're supposed to buy for the class. Or you can buy the edition from 2004 for $4 on Amazon and be fine with that. And everyone was just like, they're like, then why the fuck would we ever buy the $200 one? He's like, yeah, I don't know. It's stupid. Like all they do is they update what like the technology is, but the techniques are always the same.
Right.
So he's like, just buy this old one and we'll just replace the information that doesn't exist anymore. Like in the one that I had, it still said that like standard broadcast specs were 4:3 480p.
Oh shit. Okay.
And that was something that was a class I was taking in like 2016. So it was just like,
so that's clearly changed, but I mean everything else.
Exactly. So like between 4 editions of a textbook, you've already taken something and made it completely obsolete.
Yeah.
Like unfathomably obsolete. So it's like cool. I don't know.
That is cool.
It's just neat.
Yeah.
And that like classes change because of that. Like the techniques are always going to be there, but the technology keeps changing. So it's just like, let's just teach you the techniques on this shit, and then you just apply it to whatever. Like to learn the gear and the tech like does not take that long.
Right.
So
yeah,
things, man, things and stuff.
And things. We're geeking out over it. Sorry for the turning this into a tech hour, everyone, but I mean, it's fucking cool. Like regardless of what you're interested in, like I think it's pretty sick.
And like, you know, just like living through it is wild. Because like think about it, like people like they had like the printing press, sick, but like that didn't progress very far until like the Industrial Revolution, basically. Which I guess that was kind of the start of it. But like now we have like automated printing presses. Like that technology gap was people's whole lives, and we've gotten that in like a decade. Like it's just cool, man. And Nick and I are both like nerdy dudes, so super. This is just like shit we're excited about.
I have some relationship advices for us.
Oh, thank God.
Let's go.
Let's go,
We're bringing
baby.
it back. We're bringing it back.
Welcome everybody to the relationship advice as depicted by Nick and Brian through Reddit, I guess.
Yeah. What the hell? Is your cat getting murdered?
My cat is screaming. What, Salem? He like walked out of the bathroom. He walked out of the bathroom and just looked at me, and I was like, "What?" And he was just meow and kept walking. So here's the thing. Before we get into the relationship advice, Salem, our cat, cute. Love this cat. Very long. He's a long boy.
He's a long boy.
If anybody follows me on social media, I post a lot about these cats already. But he does this thing where I don't know if it's because he's sad or some shit, but he just like walks around our apartment, and if no one like has made sound in like 4 or 5 seconds, he just starts screaming. It's like meow, 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 and we'll be like in bed at 2 a.m. and we'll just be like Sam, and he'll just stop, and we'll see the door open slightly, and he walks in, and we're just like, oh, he's just lonely.
Oh my god,
but it's just so strange. So that's what happened.
Salem.
All right,
poor thing. He's just lonely.
Let's get right into the relationship advice.
Right into it. So this one's not a relationship advice. This was on Ask Reddit, and
Ew.
I just think it's really funny.
We're just gonna start an advice column.
We should, dude, like a Dear Abby type shit. It's like a blog where we only answer just like horrible questions. All right, so this one says, it finally happened yesterday. I've been talking to this girl on a dating app for a while, and yesterday she came over for the first time. Let's just say we got down and dirty. I hate that. Just
ew, dude.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, I hate when people on like the internet are always just like, oh, it got a little steamy.
Yeah.
And I was like, 1, gross. Don't. Who cares? 3, just say sex, man. Just say you banged.
Let's just
don't be cute about
like,
it.
what the fuck is this, Disney Channel, homie? Like,
yeah, dude.
Like,
don't be cute about it. We get it. We're adults.
Let's just say we got down and dirty. My favorite Iron Man Funko Pop was on the shelf while I was getting some action, and I looked over there a few times just to be sure he would be included in the memory. I was already greatly fond of this pop, but I'm feeling a lot more sentimental now that it's been part of such an incredible experience. I don't think I could ever get rid of it now. Is there anyone on here who had similar experiences? What pops do you still have from when you lost your virginity?
Okay. So, this is a lot to unpack. There's a lot here.
Man.
So, he's talking about losing his virginity in the time of Funko Pops, which already limits the scope of like when you could have had sex, right?
True.
Now, here's the other thing. We don't know how old this person is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so
they're either like,
we have limited the
teenager or like an avid collector. There's people that like avidly collect those shits though.
Right. But like there's a limited time frame for when they could have had sex.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the inception of the Funko Pop was like what, maybe like 2012? Mm-hmm. Probably after that, honestly. Mm-hmm. So like they can only have had sex or lost their virginity, so sex, within this decade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Within this decade, they have had to have lost their virginity. So we don't know how old this person is. So the weird thing about that is that this person could have like either been a teenager, as Nick has pointed out, or they could be way past that. And there's no way of knowing. There's no way of knowing.
Not,
and then to just add that little cherry on top, to just give it the little send of love out into the audience that it needs. He asks the very fine people of Reddit, which is an oxymoron, asks the very fine people of Reddit.
They're definitely non-virgins of Reddit.
Yeah, exactly. They've definitely had sex.
Yeah, for sure.
They definitely know you just stick it in and pee.
Yeah.
Like they know
clearly
that this person has done this, and he asks them, what was like the Funko Pop that you have from when you lost your virginity? He does not mean that the Funko Pop has witnessed said act. He just means which ones you own at the time that you had lost your virginity.
Yeah.
So,
but he also asked if anyone had a similar experience, like them all on the shelves lined up in their boxes. You're just like, you look over, you've got like a fucking Marty McFly and Doc Brown Back to the Future set, and you're like,
you've got a Frodo. You just make direct eye contact with Frodo in the fucking party. But like the funny thing is too is that like I immediately, as you were like saying it, I envisioned like a Patrick Bateman from American Psycho thing where he's this like where he's just like having sex with this girl and like looking in like
Yeah.
the mirror and like flexing
Yeah.
and shit,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
looking at himself.
Yep.
It's that, but it's a Tony Stark Funko Pop. He looks in the mirror and he's just like, yeah. He's like, I'm doing this for you, Tony.
Oh my god, dude.
It's just weird,
So
man.
weird.
Okay, so hit me. What are you feeling? How do you feel about this one?
You know what? I'm just trying to like picture it as if it were me. And the best part about this is that I just got that shit that I was talking about, the action figure. So I'm picturing just looking at an action figure of myself on the fucking. I'm like, you seeing this shit? That's you. That's you.
Dude, that's it. That's the Patrick Bateman.
Yes, it's full circle. Look at that shit, bro. It's me. It's literally me.
I don't know if you saw my Instagram like comment on it. I was like, I was just like, holy shit, it finally came. And then immediately after, like, I went to like the next story and I was like, wait a minute. So I went back to it and like looked at your video of it. The face
is so fucked up.
Is horrifying.
It's so fucked up, dude.
It is terrifying.
Literally, like, it. You know what? Like it still looks like me. Like you can tell, like people who know me, it looks like me. But then like when you get up close on the face, man, it's bad. It's just there's just not enough. It's too small to like have any real detail.
Yeah. But like on the macro, like if you just have that on like your desk and someone's like, dude, that's you. Like that is.
Yeah, it's me.
Like, it's,
like that's
as long
me.
as you don't
Mini Nick.
Yeah, dude. As long as you don't look at it like this close.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's all that matters.
Exactly.
And it's sick. Like it's so
cool,
funny.
dude. It's so fucking like I got so many replies on this. I still need to go through all the replies, but it's literally people are just like, wait, what the fuck? Wait.
They're just like, you fucking narcissist.
I just got a weird ass Instagram DM. Would you be down?
Oh, sick. Let's go.
Would you be down to
live reading, baby?
Yo, with 6 O's. Would you be down to make a TikTok together? I can send clips of me singing like this and also record them, but we can mash them up into a dope beat on TikTok. I've never talked to this person.
Ew. One, you're not Ramzoid, homie. Don't do that.
What is the deal?
That guy can do anything. You're not that guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to knock this guy. He's probably much better than I'm thinking in my head. But that's so strange. Like how often?
Yo, do you want to make a TikTok?
We'll get back into the relationship advice in a second. But how often do you and if you know Emma, how often do both of you get those kinds of messages where someone's just like, hey man, you down to collab? Or like,
So
hey man,
often.
here's an idea. Like you want to do this? Like
At least
how
once or
often does
twice
that
a
happen?
week, at least.
Wow.
So random.
That is wild.
It's so wild. And half the time it's like people I don't like, those are like message requests like you get like when it says like, 4 requests for like people you don't follow or whatever. It's just like, I'll check that every once in a while. Let's see. I haven't checked. Let's see.
How many are in there right now?
13.
And is this on yours
This is just
or
on
Prism's?
mine, yeah.
Okay.
Half of them
That's
are just
so
like
wild, dude.
Nice things.
That's like anytime Megan posts like an Instagram post of her like it's either just like selfies or just whatever she posts, she'll always get like a series of comments from like these just random ass accounts being like DM for a collab.
Yeah,
and they're
like bots
it's
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like super weird,
So
kind of
odd.
like kind of gross like either jewelry or
Yeah,
clothing
it's
brands and stuff like that.
It's not even like high quality shit. It's so
Well, one time I
interesting.
was like, Megan can easily be a model, like 100%
sure.
could do it. And so I was like, dude, DM them, just see what's up. Why not? And she did it once, and like the way that you like what they do is like you DM to collab, and then you pay them like $350, and they post your photo, and it's like a clothing brand just posting some miscellaneous person's photos that they have paid them for.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is the weirdest tactic.
It's so
I get
weird.
it. It's like basically how advertising works, but like it's a person. You're just advertising an Instagram.
You're just
account.
trying to like, I mean,
It's weird.
promote yourself, I guess, which is, I get it. I get the hustle, but like, what do you think it's going to do? And these accounts are like, no one's really following these accounts. They're just like botted numbers,
Yeah. It's so strange.
It's crazy.
Dude, social media is so weird. I've been trying to like not be a part of that shit as much as possible.
It's such an interesting
I've
landscape.
I've just kind of retreated to either posting Instagram stories or like posting my photos and shit on Twitter, just because like on Twitter it feels a little more genuine. Like if someone interacts with my tweet, then I'm just like, okay, that was like a conscious effort. It wasn't someone just scrolling through Instagram
Swiping up and just being like, cool,
everything.
Cool. Yeah.
Right.
Totally.
So that's kind of like what I've done, and plus it's just like makes me upset. So
yeah, it's a necessary evil, unfortunately, depending on what the industry you're in. But it's so annoying. I'm right there with you, dude. I'm there. There were no
So-
good message requests, unfortunately.
Oh, damn. Well, hey, now we can get back to the
Back to
glory
the actual
of
relationship
Reddit.
advice.
People on Reddit asking us questions.
All right. These ones are good. This one. I think my 28 male girlfriend, 25 female, wipes her ass with magic eraser. My girlfriend, who is a beautiful person, recently moved in with me after 2 years of dating. This is the most I've ever been around her besides a few trips we took as a couple before living together for the most part.
Before that, I was just like, oh, this is Megan and I, minus the magic eraser
Minus the
thing.
magic
To
eraser.
my knowledge.
The first time we stayed overnight someplace, I remember spotting a couple of magic erasers in her purse. It struck me as odd, but I didn't want to be rude, and I figured she just brought them to wipe down any dirty surfaces in the room. But the thing is, I never saw her clean anything on any trips, despite the magic erasers nestled in her purse. One time I even purposefully spilled a beer on the floor to test her, and all she offered was hotel toilet paper. But now she lives with me, and I can't help but notice that there's a stack of magic erasers in the cabinet under the sink. Like way more magic erasers than anybody would ever need, unless of course they were wiping their ass with them. To be fair, she does keep the bathroom pristine, but her body is pristine as well. What the fuck? So you see the problem. It's maddening. I even left a tiny dot of toilet paper. Even left a tiny dot on the toilet paper in the bathroom to see if she's used it, and it hasn't moved a centimeter. All this while the magic eraser stash steadily depletes. I mean, what the fuck do I do? This sounds like insanity, but the truth is right in front of my eyes. What do I say to her? Is a woman's personal hygiene something I should even talk about? I wish I had a magic eraser for this whole shitty situation. Aren't they
Okay.
sponges?
Yeah. Well, they make like thin ones, which I've used, not to wipe my ass,
Okay.
but I've used them to like clean like my tub, and they suck. They're not good. You get the spongy ones, everybody.
Yeah.
This is now a Mr. Clean ad. Or scrubbing bubbles. Whoever the fuck makes that, I don't know. Fucking like
I'm looking it up.
Clorox.
Clorox, maybe.
But one, he has only made an assumption that she is
Mr.
wiping
Clean.
her ass with them. He does not know.
That's true.
He has not made it clear in this post.
I don't know why he
that
wouldn't ask her.
Right,
Y'all
exactly.
live
like,
together.
definitively. Yeah, like he's just made like this wild ass assumption, which very well may be true. But homie, you don't know. That's a weird conclusion to draw. Like that's kind of more on you at this point, unless it turns out to be true.
Right?
But still.
But also, like,
And
you can ask her.
dude.
The only
even
thing that
still,
would be
like-
weird, I mean, it is weird. Wiping your ass with a sponge is fucking weird. Like, I'm just going to say it, you know? That's an
And plus
expensive.
it's like chemicals and shit too.
Yeah,
like
that's the
like
other thing.
bleaching your asshole.
Yeah, it's
every
literally
time.
like, yeah, maybe that's the whole goal. She doesn't want to go to the, like, you know, Brazilian wax place, so she just, like, sprays Clorox on a fucking sponge and just... I'm picturing, like, a sponge with, like, a Brillo pad on one side, like the sharp... So, you go in with that
It's
part
just steel
first.
wool.
Steel... Oh, wiping your ass with steel wool. Get it...
Yep.
Ow.
Yep.
Holy
It's
shit.
puckering right now, man. Oh fuck.
Yeah, no thanks. Just ask.
But yeah,
it's
dude.
weird.
Yeah.
It's weird for sure. I'm not gonna knock that. Like, yeah, it's super weird and very expensive. Just use toilet paper
Yeah.
or
It's
like
that-
baby wipes. You know.
Yeah. It's super easy. They make flushable wipes.
Yeah.
Man. Just use that.
Do that.
Also, I also like that he tried to like scientific method this shit by
Yeah.
like putting a
Putting a
marker
dot.
on the toilet paper. Like he turned it into a whole ass experiment.
so
This is
funny.
like, okay, bud, but you still haven't proven your theory.
So
This
funny.
is not. This experiment does correlation does not equal causation, my guy.
Exactly.
Scientific method. Come
Exactly.
on now. You probably took 11th grade biology.
Yeah. Come on. Huh?
Come on.
So that's weird. And also, I would love to see an update because holy shit,
Yeah.
does anyone out
Everybody-
there wipe with a sponge? And
Yeah,
why?
let us know in the comments. Do you wipe your ass with a sponge, magic eraser, tissue, steel wool, or bath tissue? Let us know.
Let us
in
know.
the comments below. And also let us
Or
know if
wax
it's weird
paper.
to wipe
Oh
your
god,
ass.
that would be so.
Dude, oh,
Like a baking sheet?
Dude, fly traps.
Oh, you stick it.
Just rips it all off. You're just waxing.
Ow.
Yeah. Okay.
heard-
Jesus, next one.
I heard
go,
this,
go.
this New York slang yesterday that I had never heard before. I mean, I could infer what it meant from context, but like, I was helping my friend move a fucking vanity upstairs, and so there's like there's like two or three people, you know, on either side because it's really heavy, and whatever. And then we like ate dinner afterwards, or we ordered dinner, And this one guy is her friend from New York, like very New York, very heavily accented.
He talks like New York.
Yeah, like
He
straight
orders a
up.
boiga.
He's like, I'm from the Bronx, I'm from the deep Bronx, blah, like super New York. And he just moved here like earlier this year.
Damn, good for him. Probably getting a lot more space for his money.
Oh, absolutely. And we were eating and we were like giving him shit about something. He's like, yeah, what the fuck? Why y'all cutting my ass, huh? And we're like, I'm sorry, what? Did you just say cutting my ass? He's like, yeah, y'all are cutting my ass for no reason. And we're like, what does that mean? And like, no one had ever heard what that means. And he's just like, y'all don't say cutting my ass over here? And then we're like, no. And he launched into this big, long, like all the differences between California and like West Coast and East Coast slang. Cutting my ass just means like roasting me, apparently. And then there was another one that was like tight, which over here means like, oh yeah, hell yeah, super tight.
Right.
In New York, it's
like
a bad thing.
90% of the world.
In 90% of the world, right. I'd heard it way before I moved out here. I knew what tight was. Yeah. But like, it doesn't mean good over there in New York. He's like, that like, it's like bad. He's like, that shit got me tight, like wound up. Like if you're annoyed at something, he's like, man, I'm fucking tight right now.
Dude, I am convinced that New York, the city, is its own entire ecosystem.
It totally is.
It's not part of this country. It's its own thing, man.
It's its own thing. You're from New York, you need a passport to get to another state. It's nuts.
Also, like, it's really funny that like they making that assumption of like, oh, you don't say that over here in California. It's like, dude, you're in Los Angeles.
I know.
There is slang for this city. There is slang for San Diego. There is slang in San Francisco.
Right.
There is slang in Sacra-fucking-Meno, my guy, that are completely different. If you talk to somebody from like Fresno, you're talking to somebody that's from a completely different background than somebody from Los Angeles.
So different. Farm city over there. That's hilarious.
Literally, I work on a farm in here, and I live in Los Angeles. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird assumption to make.
Yeah.
But it's also very interesting because I've never heard any of that shit. That's super weird.
Cutting my ass. It's so funny.
Cutting my ass with a Brillo pad.
Exactly. That's what reminded me of it. So none of y'all better be cutting our asses. All right, this one.
Yeah, don't get us tight.
Don't get us tight because we'll. God, you taught me another one, but I don't remember. Anyways, it's so
It'll
funny.
come back. You'll have like you'll just be like doing whatever you're doing later today, and you'll be like, oh,
it was this. Fuck, and I'll call you back. Record this. All right, this one is weird.
Let's go.
I mean, not weird, not to shame, but it's interesting. I'll tell you that. All right, I have a Grinch fetish.
Okay. All right. Bad start. Terrible start.
Bro,
Literally
I
could not think of a worse start.
I googled Grinch fetish. It's a thing. There's like communities of people who have this fetish.
So here's a question: do they like set up orgies and gangbangs where like one person is the Grinch and everybody just gets to fuck them, or like are they all Grinch and they fuck each other?
They have like Well, I guess it depends on your preference, but a lot of people want to like get fucked by the Grinch.
Oh, that was not what I was thinking. Yeah. So it's kind of like Shrek is love, Shrek is life, but Grinch is love, Grinch is life.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
So I have a Grinch fetish. My boyfriend knows about this and for the most part accepts it. He isn't crazy about it and really doesn't get it, but he at least tries, which is all I ask. He'll sometimes read the book to me to set the mood. Or if he's feeling really kinky, he'll tell me, "You're a mean one," in the heat of the moment. He's even begrudgingly come around to at least playing one of 3 versions of the film every time we do the deed. Although we tend to stay away from the live action one because it's too much for me.
Wait, one of the 3 versions?
Yeah, so like
there's one live action? What's the other animated one?
The new one. They like made a full length animated one recently.
Musical? Oh, the one with Benedict Cumberbatch. Yeah.
And then the live action one with like Jim Carrey, and then like the cartoon 30-minute special on TV.
Got it. I completely forgot about the new one.
Yeah, so. Me too. I haven't seen it, but I think it flew under a lot of people's radars.
Yeah. Megan and I watched the musical last night for like 30 seconds.
Oh, really?
Not good.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't imagine.
She loves that shit. And she was just like skipping through it. And I was just like, oh, you don't have to like skip through this on like my account. She was like, no, this is horrible. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Okay, good. I wasn't going to say it.
But exactly. So we don't have Grinch fetishes, but this person
does. All right. She said, the thing is, I don't want to hear about the Grinch or listen to the Grinch or watch the Grinch. I want to be fucked by the Grinch. And for the record, this is common among some women. The Grinch's bulging sack of toys to me and many others is what a Mack truck is to Cardi B. The fact that he's good with dogs and experienced trauma at a young age makes me want that long fuzzy dick even more.
Are we just assuming that like his dick looks like
his
Jim Carrey's fingers?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. My boyfriend asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I told him straight up. I told him to put on the greenest, silkiest Grinch costume he could find, kidnap me from my bed on Christmas Eve, and then ravage me in front of the Christmas tree. He flat out refused. He said it was too weird for him. I was literally begging, and he was like, nah, I'm good. It ended up turning into a fight where he admitted he only gave in to my initial Grinch kinks to placate me, and was still uncomfortable about the fact that I moaned Grinch during sex a few weeks ago. But only because his song was playing in the background. So he's drawn a line, and if I don't drop the Grinch fetish, which is, as I said, incredibly common among women, but sadly taboo, he's done for good. I don't want to lose him over this, but it's really hard for me to see past my sexual proclivities. Sexual proclivities, especially during Christmas season. Is there any way we can compromise, or do I simply need a more adventurous man?
Okay.
Her moaning Grinch is so funny, dude.
That's
Grinch.
so funny. Grinch.
She's
Could
like,
you just
"What?
imagine that happening to you?
No.
Like whoever you're having sex with, like you're looking deep into their eyes and they're like, Grinch.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Dude, like, do you just like, does it just like get sucked back up inside you?
Yeah,
and you just like,
it just, your penis
like,
retracts
leave?
and you're like, whoa, what the fuck? And you're
That'd be so weird. Or you find out something about yourself that night.
That's true.
What it is.
It's either one of the two things. It either scares you away or you're like, I'm a mean one. You wouldn't touch me with my 39.5-foot pole.
Oh my God,
You're
we
like,
have to put that on a t-shirt.
I'm a nasty,
Holy
wasty skunk. I have termites in my soul.
You just start like singing it to yourself,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
You're like, I'm a
You're like,
mean
yeah.
one.
Dude, this like, here's the thing. Let's not kink shame anybody here.
No, totally.
And, like,
Hey.
that's fine. If that's your thing, that's your thing, man. But if the other person is not going to be down to engage in it, and that's going to like hinder you for a while, get out.
100%.
Hey, man, if it's just not going to work. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Get out of that. Go find yourself someone that's more adventurous. That is the answer. The second thing is I just have more questions.
I have so many questions.
I don't think we're ever going to get an answer for
So many questions to that. I mean, but dude, literally, I Googled Grinch fetish. It is such a thing. There's
Dude,
like
that's
Grinch
so weird.
fanfics, Grinch like fan art. There's all kinds of shit.
I would have never imagined. In a million years.
neither.
I would have never imagined.
Me neither. What is it about him?
Why would you want to fuck the Grinch? It's so weird. It's so weird.
Fuzzy. Something
hey,
fuzzy.
Man, good on you for
inside of
finding what does it for you, but 90% of us, it's a little weird.
So odd, bro.
It's so weird.
I'm a fucking mean one.
Dude, just like her concept of being like, I want him to kidnap me
Yeah, I know.
and ravage me
I
in front
know.
of the Christmas
Like, who
tree.
does she is she playing Cindy Lou Who? Because then it's weird.
Yeah, that's
That's
a felony.
weird. Yeah, totally. That's a case right there. Is she like a who? Does she want to be a who, or does she just want to be some random person that the Grinch exists in this universe for?
Yeah. And that also just like wildly changes how the Grinch Stole Christmas means.
Yeah.
Like
God.
that concept fundamentally changes that story.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my
That's so
God. I love the
weird,
fact that
dude.
they're like sympathizing with him too. They're like, he experienced trauma. He's good with dogs. Like, he can sled.
Dude,
His
I don't like that.
His bulging sack of
that's
presents.
weird.
So
it's
funny.
like, hey man, not a real thing. He doesn't exist. He's a children's book character.
That's the other thing. Like, it was never like, until the Jim Carrey version, it was always a cartoon. It was always like a, like a 30-minute TV special on December 24th. You know?
Dude, this fetish is for people who had like a lot of trauma when they were kids.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like,
That's there's something that like
where does that come from?
there's
nuts.
something there.
There's something
there that needs to be looked at
Just
and understood.
everything Christmas is just an immediate turn on. I'm just trying to picture. Like, is it the Christmas?
It's the
Because she talked about being
from, like,
Christmas.
yeah, it's Santa Claus 2 where he's like dating that one woman who starts like singing the song in the fucking restaurant.
Yeah. Oh my God. All the stories, like twas the night before Christmas and all to the house. That just like, that's like fanfic for them. That's like,
Yeah, dude. That's a waterfall waiting to happen. That's what that is.
You can't listen to Christmas music in public. Jolly old Saint Nicholas. They're like, what does this lady do when the
Chris
Grinch
Kindle
song
Market
comes
in,
on?
downtown Chicago just
yeah.
like destroys people.
Yeah.
They just implode as soon as they walk in. Just cease to exist.
Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit, dude.
Ugh. Okay. I think we have exhausted all the advice on that one. It's just, hey, find someone who can fulfill that for you, because if that's the only thing that's gonna do it for you, man. You gotta find something to satiate that.
I guarantee there'd be so many people down for that, though. You know, that's the thing.
Dude, if there's a whole community, join a message board.
Join a message board.
Pop in the forum.
Exactly. Be like, yo, anyone want to dress up like the Grinch? And be like, She also likened it like exclusively to women. Like, I wonder if like,
yeah,
you know, that's like it's like a thing among women. Like, how many dudes are in this Grinch fetish community? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if we are to assume that the Grinch is, at least in some variation, male, I guess, statistically speaking, would be skewed more towards women.
Sure.
So
that's true.
So I guess, yeah, maybe.
But, like, are there dudes who, like, want to dress up as the Grinch? Or just, like,
definitely
are hoping the Grinch, you know, swings both ways? You never know.
Probably.
You never know.
Why not?
Yeah, he's a cartoon character.
It's an inclusive community, all right?
Absolutely. The Grinch fetish community, the GFC. Sounds like the name of a church.
Gordon Food Service.
Grinch fetish community.
Or services with an S, not a C. That's fine.
The Granger Federation Church.
The Federation, they have a militia.
This is a church.
They're trying to secede from Indiana.
They got a rock band and an army.
All of the like instruments are made out of like guns.
At any moment,
so like if you like play a certain string, it fires.
It'd be beautiful, man. The most beautiful, just massacre. Holy shit!
While how the Grinch stole Christmas plays in the background.
Yeah. You're a mean one.
Checking all those boxes.
Holy shit! What the fuck?
Oof. Okay.
God damn. So yeah, that was that's that. Grinch fetish.
Jesus.
Look it up.
We learned a new thing today. I'm sorry to all of you at home.
My apologies. My sincerest apologies.
We did not anticipate this, but you know, sometimes that's just how it goes, baby.
That's a fact.
This is the format of our podcast.
Yeah. It really
is that there is no format. Salem.
Hey, Salem.
Hey, buddy. This is the one that yells. I don't know if any people on like the actual video probably won't be able to see him, but I'll move it over so we can look at him. Look at him.
Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
Big jump.
Is he going to sleep? Finding a place to nap?
They all sleep on this couch. It's hilarious.
It's really adorable. That's so cute. Dude, why does this guy want to make a TikTok?
God love him.
Why does my mom send me? What did she send me on Facebook? She Facebook messaged me sometimes. It's very cute.
Oh, my mom still doesn't know how like Facebook works, so she like will tag me and post on Facebook. So like my wall on Facebook is literally just her tagging me.
That's so cute.
And it's just like cute corgi videos.
That's so cute.
Or she sends them to me on Facebook Messenger, or she texts them to me. Mm-hmm. It's so adorable. Funny. And she is absolutely the like demographic of the people who buy into like the Facebook misinformation campaigns. And it's so funny.
Oh my God. Moms on Facebook are just
they wildin', dude.
They are wildin'. They're either really wholesome or really scary. Yeah. There's no in between.
That's
Moms
true.
on Facebook are either like straight up hardcore, like anti-vax, like QAnon moms, or they're like, look at this picture from 3 years ago of my family, and then their profile picture is like a picture of like a really cropped picture of like Jesus or something.
Yep. And it's like pictures of like the cookies they baked for like their grandchildren or some shit.
Yeah.
Or they're just not on Facebook. Like that's it.
Exactly.
Those are the three archetypes of moms.
That's a fact. That's so funny. Holy shit. What kind of mom? Yeah. I always tell people to leave comments, but like no one leaves comments. What's been going on with the views lately, man?
Dude, it's so strange.
It's so weird. We've gone up like 100 times the amount of views that we normally get on these podcasts, but all the metrics are like the average view time is like 2 to 4 minutes.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It's like they were watching like Joe Rogan videos and just had the autoplay on, and like they just got through like 10 of his episodes, and then one of ours came on and they're like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Yo, this is
like,
put Joe Rogan back on, dude. Put on Joe. So fucking
I
funny.
gotta hear his woke fucking analysis of the world and then feel like I'm smart because the guy who hosted Fear Factor had a smart person on his show.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I remember that he hosted,
I always forget
one,
that.
hosted Fear Factor, and two, had hair, I'm like horrified.
Yeah, I always forget about that.
terrible.
I used to love Fear Factor, dude. It was such a fucked up show.
Fear Factor fucked. It was
it
so
fake?
good, and for
Was it
some
real?
reason the thumbnail of it on Hulu is him standing there like in front of the logo, and there's just an explosion in the background.
Tight.
I'm just like, what?
Was any of
Is
it
it supposed to be
real?
fear
Was it all
music?
real? Was it fake? What was the deal? Do you know?
Did we all just like collectively imagine Fear Factor?
No, I mean,
did
like,
it happen,
the
or do we just think it happened?
I mean, like the event, like, you know how like reality shows are, you know, played up. Like, was it, you know, are they really like eating maggots and shit like that, or what?
I do think that those parts were real. I have a feeling that they probably like went back and shot stuff. They were like, okay, can you like play this up a little more? Like, I feel like the
Probably.
reactions aren't necessarily genuine.
Mhm.
I feel like they probably played that
But
up.
all the stunts and
But-
shit. You think?
Yeah, some things are questionable.
Yeah.
Like eating the things, those are probably like, yeah, they did that. But some of the things where it's like, we're gonna throw you out of this building.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Like,
I don't think you can do that.
yeah, I don't know about that. What certifications? I mean, unless you're literally signing everything away, but I don't know. There's so much
Right.
liability
Like
involved.
OSHA's just like, hey man,
Yeah.
they're just standing there, just like waiting for something to happen.
It's like, they have one of those like days without an incident board. They have to erase it after 0 days every time. It's like they're like about to draw one and they're like, oh, fucking goddamn it, 0.
He's like about to draw like the crossbar of like the one at the bottom.
Yeah.
He's like slowly doing it, and then it stops.
And he's like, turns it into a 0.
and just leaves.
don't
Like
know.
doesn't even come back, just goes home.
Dude, what a show. That was like my show that I would watch with my family. Like Fear Factor and Amazing Race. We loved them shits.
Amazing Race makes sense.
Yeah, Fear Factor was a weird one. I think it was mostly me
Yeah,
and my dad.
that's a weird choice for like a family viewing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it kind of was.
Oh.
But that and Amazing Race. I don't know what happened
Amazing
to either
Race
of those
was-
shows.
Dude, Amazing Race was such a good concept for a show.
Really was.
Like it was like so great, and like they've kind of like always done at least interesting things on the show,
Mhm.
like season to season, since we're like in season 30 or something.
Oh, is it still on?
Yeah, it's still
Oh
going.
shit, no way.
And like a couple years ago, they actually had Bernie and his wife from Rooster Teeth, because it was all
No
like
way.
internet celebrities
Oh,
that
that's
did the
so
Amazing
funny.
Race. Like Tyler Oakley was on one of the other teams.
Oh, what the
and
fuck?
stuff. It was like actually a pretty good season, but it was like it's just weird that like it still exists and like people are still enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because it's like how many times can you rehash the same shit? Like Survivor.
Oh, dude.
Like what the
Oh
fuck?
my god.
Like, how do people still watch that? It's the same thing.
Grey's Anatomy. At this
Oh,
point,
yeah.
all of the original cast is like dead or off the show. Like it's like
Yeah.
stop it.
Right.
The show is good because it
didn't they
ends.
already kill. Yeah, didn't they like kill the main character? Didn't they kill
pretty
like Dr.
sure.
Grey? Isn't she dead?
I think so, man. I've never seen it, but I'm pretty sure.
So wild.
Yeah.
So weird.
It's so interesting. That or like Bachelorette or like, you know, Bachelor. I mean, it's just like, come on, do something new. I don't know. I mean, they've got a formula though. It obviously works for them.
Yeah.
So
I talked to a guy who worked as an AE on like The Bachelor and Bachelorette.
Mhm.
And the thing that the one thing that he learned that he like let us know was that the first person and the last person out of the limo, are the producers' picks for who they think will win
gotcha.
like the show.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, that's kind of neat.
I mean, they're the ones that
They're
like
like, yeah,
stick in
they've
your
always
head the
done it that
most.
way.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
It's wild. It's weird.
Everything
but
is,
I was like, that's
they're
kinda
all
cool.
little marionettes, dude. It's so interesting
Yeah.
how things are manipulated for like, you know, the biggest reactions and the biggest like
Yeah.
shock value. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. That's even in like fucking documentary and shit like
Mhm.
that. A lot of that stuff's embellished.
Yeah.
Like just to, because like you know the point of a documentary is to like be an expose on something.
Totally.
Right. So
Yeah,
even a lot of that is played up. So
for sure. I mean, sometimes
it's
you just have to inject feeling and emotion, and you know, you have to, you know, music plays a big role in that, and like
Yeah.
clever editing and all, you know, like, you know, obviously,
yeah.
you know, but it's just like it's so interesting to me.
yeah. It's so many like moving parts to make something compelling, because
Mhm.
like someone can tell you a story and it can be like the craziest, wildest shit you've ever heard in your life.
Mhm.
But like if they're just like, yeah, and you know, then we like landed on the moon and we like fought these aliens and it was pretty great. But it's just like
Yeah.
if you just have somebody saying shit like that,
Mhm.
if you have it as reality, it wouldn't be interesting.
Right.
So like You got to play it up in
got
some
to.
ways, and like that's how showbiz works, baby. And I think that's a thing people like have started to not understand. Is they're like that's how reality works, and it's like no, it's not.
Clearly not at all. Yeah, no,
It's wild, dude. Media, man, it's just fucking changing.
yeah, it really is. That's the takeaway for today.
That is the takeaway. We didn't hit like we didn't hit like a lot of the talking points that we usually try to hit, but we just kept ripping.
Yeah, we kept ripping and riffing and getting a FaceTime call. What's good?
Good shit. I talked too much as always.
Yeah, you talked just the right amount. You talked a great amount. I like hearing what you have to say, and so do the people.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
I like hearing what you have to say.
Aw.
It's always interesting. This is a good old time, and we hope all of you at home, or your car, or your office, or wherever you may be listening to episode 33 of the Lunchtime Serenade podcast had a great time.
Yeah,
We hope you enjoyed this.
of course.
We hope you had fun hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, it gave you a little bit of niceness.
I hope it gave you a little niceness.
I'll give you a little niceness going into the holiday season, maybe.
A little Grinch
Hopefully it's getting you
fetish.
through that little bit of that 2020, kind of injecting that Grinch fetish in there. Maybe you'll learn something about yourself along the way.
That's
man.
true. That's true.
It's true.
But we will be back next week for an in-person episode, and then a short holiday intermission. But we'll have a banger next week for you guys. Don't worry about it. We got some shit.
Yeah, we'll keep you in the loop for Christmas.
Yeah.
Give you something to go out with a bang on.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we love you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in to episode 33. This is the Lunchtime Serenade podcast, and we will see you next time. Middle of the day.
Middle of the day.
Middle of the week.
Middle of the week.
Peace.
Peace.